about that. I was on a call.
No problem. We're going live. We should be live on YouTube, like right
I'll
about
check it
now.
right now. Yep, I'm jumping on right now.
Those who's live on YouTube, if you could click that like button, for us, please. All right, we're good now. So if we don't mind, we're gonna do a little introduction. I'm gonna introduce myself. I'm Savon Smith, founder of Savon's Academy Stars, and also founder of Founding Players, which is this organization. Our intent is to teach financial literacy through Founding Players. Founding Players came to be because of the Savon's Academy Stars basketball program. Go ahead, Miss Cardia.
Hi, I'm Cardia.
Oh, just you're not gonna say no last name, just Cardia. No full name.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to our Zoom. I'm Cardia Smith.
Okay. You know, Anna gonna be quiet over there. Hector, are you available to just do a quick introduction, or you just want to introduce yourself when you up there you go. You're on mute.
Yes, sir. I got a quick second. I'm Hector Hernandez. I'm involved here, I guess, to definitely assist where I can in financial literacy. I'm a tech guy for 20 plus years and at martial arts business, and now I've been doing a crypto investing for it's almost a year and a half now, throughout the pandemic. So I'm ready to help where I can.
Yes, and we appreciate you. We appreciate you definitely being dedicated to helping spread the word about investing and teaching financial literacy. Appreciate that. All right. Well, tonight we're gonna speak a little on options. I've done two sessions on options this past week. Well, today is Sunday, so it's a new week. So you would have to say last week. I went over options with Cardia. Anna was on the last time we were on as well. So for some of you, who watched the channel before, you might be, seeing some of the same things that we actually went over and explained. We're gonna try to do an even better job, this time around and explain it, at a quicker pace. And we also have Hector, who can also chime in at any time, because he's a crypto specialist. So I'm actually gonna be talking on, a specific mining company that I took an option on, and I'm going to use that company as an example just to show how options work. Ran it over with Cardia especially, so she also has a better understanding of how options work, but she will also be getting better at it, from seeing it explained a number of times. Practice makes permanent, not perfect. There's nothing's perfect. So practice makes permanent. It stays in the brain. So, we intend to just keep on pushing this in Cardia's head so she can become great at it. All right, so with that being said, I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen. Do my best explaining options trading. All right, so now that my screen is shared, move this over a little. Wish I had a couple more people on so we can have some people pay attention to the YouTube channel. Like if anyone was having any questions, that would help out a great deal.
Mhm.
Because while we're talking on options, maybe we have an audience who may want to ask some questions to get a better understanding, or whoever understands options and can add to what we're talking about. Okay. So Hector, you're here with us? Are you present or distracted or
Yeah,
anything?
yes, sir. No, I'm present. I'll just be
Okay.
hitting the mute off and on, but I'm here.
All right, because I wanted to make sure I start, because you say you've never done options before, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. I have a couple of friends that they've invested and they've been doing, similar to stocks. They've been taking swing positions on options and contracts, and I have not invested the time to to get involved. So I've just been kind of just investing and putting my Easter eggs in one basket for now.
Okay. All right. Well, the reason I ask is because, we know you're, pretty good with the crypto and you're pretty good with math, so as I go over these numbers, anytime you can chime in and say something or ask a question, you can do so. But I'm gonna start with just a good explanation of how, and I'm gonna use Robin to give a good explanation of how you would get into options. First, before I show you how you do the options, you have to sign up. If you have Robinhood, and I'm using Robinhood, so if you have Robinhood, what you want to do is go into Robinhood and register, to be able to do options, because it's not available to you just like that unless you go and you register for it. I don't quite remember how to register for it. We'll do another class where we'll explain that. But for those who maybe have that option already to be able to buy options, then you understand this. For those who don't, then you would have to go into your Robinhood and go into your account and see how to get your options trading. That's what I'm looking for. Just have it available to trade options. Again, I will try my best to see if I can go back and refresh my mind on how I got mine ready to go. But mine's been ready to go for about a year now. And I haven't done much options. I've done it twice, just to be honest with you guys, but I understand it. And of course, anyone can also learn more, and be well versed in it. But I'm still learning it myself, but I can explain what I know so far. That's helping my account. All right, so as we can see here, this company is called Canaan, and it's a mining company. If you're following Bitcoin, then you should be following Canaan. So I know, Hector, you don't really follow Bitcoin that much. I know you're an XRP guy. Do you follow Bitcoin much?
I mean, I definitely follow the movements because it's going to impact a lot of what the other coins do. Um, a lot of the bigger companies, you know, for example, when there was talk about Amazon accepting Bitcoin out of, now it's Dogecoin being accepted. I think Burger King is taking Doge on. So all of those movements are going to be impacted, you know, with Bitcoin. Even the entire market, I have to follow Bitcoin to touch on
Mhm.
that real quick. What happened with the crypto mining, Bitcoin is over 70% of the entire market, and a large percentage of that market is being mined in China. So I have to follow it. I don't have a lot of Bitcoin. I may have like maybe $2,000 of Bitcoin, but you know it's not a large portion of my portfolio. So
Okay.
yeah, I mean I follow it. I don't follow the mining. For example, Canon I've heard of, but I know that's going to play a a large role. I'll speak on that a little later, but I know that mining is going to be is mining 2.0 right now. Um, a lot of things need to be followed. I mean, Bitcoin needs to be followed now heavily.
Yeah, definitely got to keep a track of, what's happening with Bitcoin and transactions. So the mining companies are definitely going to be needed. You know. So you mentioned a lot of the mining companies, are from China, right? That's what you said.
Correct. Yeah, it's due to low energy um, fees. In China, the government also had their hands in it at one point. I don't know what the numbers look like now after the government said, it's illegal to mine. So a lot of, even video cards have been affected by it. There's just so many things that have been rippled through this, through this, these new laws, and it's creating financial stabilization for them, and it's also disrupting cryptocurrency right now. It's created a couple of waves, and it's making room for other coins. And and I think even going into we're talking mining. I mean, we're talking options, but this is a great um, company to talk about to list this company and to highlight this company because the correlation right now is going to be pretty big. It might be it might be good to take on some positions with Canon. And going back to what you said earlier, I believe I set mine up, but you're right. It's not. It's. I don't think it was very intuitive when I did it. Options for Robinhood. So I set it up, but I don't recall, and it wasn't that easy to set up. I think I had to click a couple of things that they just weren't intuitive. I got to go back. So if I I'm gonna look it up, and if I can offer anything, I'll send it your way. Any docs on that or links.
Okay. So currently you see on my screen, um, all right, hold on. Ed said he was on. I was messaging Ed. Yeah, I was gonna ask you, Ed, to look at the comments and, see if anyone was chiming in on the YouTube channel. Okay, so getting back to what I'm saying, I know Canon is one of the mining companies, and you mentioned China. I know SOS, which is another company I'm highly invested in it as well. So that's one to look out for as well. Again, it's SOS, and I don't have them listed here, but I'm highly invested in them as well. But I'm using Canon for now, because I took options on Canon. Okay. All right. So as you can see, this Canon is at 9. $9.11. Try to get this out. Wait, give me a sec. All right, either way, Canon right now is at $9.11. So if you are on Robinhood and you wanted the options on this, you go to trade as if you were doing a regular trade. So you would hit trade and, you know, couple, you'll see it on the next one. So you have buy or sell, which you would normally see when you're trading. But here you have trade options. So when you sign up for options, then you'll have this third icon. But if you go back, first page, you would have trade when you go to whatever company you want to trade. Next page, you would have just buy and sell if you're not signed up to do options. If you are signed up to do options, then you have the options choice. So now when you choose options, remember the price, $9.11. So now we're on a third page. It says, I think it's going up. See the arrow pointing upward. Look at the dates, August 20th, September 17th, October 15th, January 2022. Okay, so you can take a contract. When you buy options, you're actually taking a contract. You're buying contract. So you can buy a contract to January 2022. That's what this Canon is offering when it comes to options. Some companies offer even into 2023, but Canon 2022, January 2022. Now, again, I think it's going up. Okay, so you're predicting that Canon, go back a little, that Canon, that is 911, is going to be on an uptrend. Why would it be on an uptrend? Bitcoin mining company. So if Bitcoin is on the rise, then most likely Canon is going to be on the rise. Could it go the opposite direction? Sure can. But I'm predicting that it's going to be on an uptrend. It's my prediction. I'm not a financial advisor, can't advise you guys what to do. I'm just sharing what I'm doing. Okay, so remember that price, 911. So if you chose August 20th as your date that your contract expires, when your contract expires, it expires at 3 p.m. on that Friday, August 20th, 3 p.m. Market closes at 4 and the contract will expire at 3 p.m. If you took your contract for September 17th, same thing applies. Okay, so if you chose for it to go from $9 to say, let me go to the numbers that you can choose from. Well, first, before we go there, you see it says, I think it's going down. That's a choice as well. Let's go back. If you think it's going up, it's called a call. If you think it's going down, it's called a put. All right, so let's go to the next page. The next page, you have the choices of what you think it's going to hit. So if Canon right now is at $9, you're not going to pick $7 call because that's lower than $9. So that would be a put. So you would say $10 call. Now, let's just say it's 9:10 right now and you chose, I don't have Robinhood Live to make you see the live numbers. So I'm giving it to you best of my ability of what I know and understand. So let's just say you choose $10, being that Canon right now is $9.11. If you chose $10, you're paying more money because it's obviously easier to go from 9 to 10. So you would obviously put a lot more money because it's almost going to be hitting $10. That would be an easy hit. The higher you go, the harder it is to hit that $20 mark. But here's the kicker. I'm going to take, well, I've taken that $20 mark, and I'm predicting that Canon from 9/11 will hit $20 by August 20th. That's the contract. I have the option to buy that contract. So now let's say I bought that contract at $20. Let's go to the next page. Okay, you see this? You're risking $7. So that means you're buying one contract for $7, as little as $7. One contract for it to hit $20 by October 20th. Let's go to the next page. So now you bought that one contract for $7. And here's the number, $9.11. So let's just say it starts to move, and it moves to about right here. You're making money. As long as it trends in this direction, which is a call, going towards $20, if it goes from 9 to 9:12, you're making money. If it goes from 9:12 to 9:15, you're making money. Is it a lot of money? No, but you're making money. Last time I checked, if you put $100 in the bank, at the end of the year, you won't even have $102. So just imagine having $7 for one contract, and it goes from 9/11 to 9:15. You done made enough money. You done made more money than the bank will give you for $100. But patience comes into this one. So it barely moved to about right here. Let's go to the next page. Oh, can't go to the next page. I'm gonna have to come out of this. I'll just go back. Sorry, I'm not even gonna come out, just go back. All right, let's use this page. So this says $5. That means it was less money. It was $8.30, and the contract cost less. So you see one contract for $5. So the lower the amount per share, the less. So it obviously went from 8:30 to 9:11, where you see it's at right now. That's when, well, I actually bought it less than this because my contract was $3. Okay, so I paid $3 for my contract, and I actually took two contracts. Just to use as example for the YouTube is why I took my options. And my small little $3 times two can turn into quite a good amount of money. It's looking good for me right now, as a matter of fact. Just from a $6 investment. Okay, so here you could see one contract for $5 to hit $20. See, when you keep trending this direction, you're making money. When you get to about right here, your break-even point, that's your mark, $20. Now, after you hit your break-even point, now you start to become in the profit. Once you start getting in this area, you start making money, you start seeing more green. So let me see if I can get those pages where you're seeing a little bit more green. All right, let's use this page right here. All right, so 9:14, okay? Remember, still $20 contract. Well, for it to hit $20, sorry. This is a little bit more. So basically, what I did was bought 15 contracts for $7. I didn't buy it. This is just an example. 15 contracts, $7 per contract, 105. Okay, so the more contracts you buy, the more money you can make. Look at these numbers. So if you invest 105 and it just moves to right here, you're breaking even. You get back your 105 right there. Start to make a little bit of profit just above the break-even point. 105 can turn into $635. That's a win-win. So in other words, if it's just $20.49, you have $635. Can you imagine that? Think about that. 105. Have a little patience, and sometimes it happens really fast. As long as you're trending in this direction, you're making money. So look at that. $635 just at $20.49. Just 49 cents over, you're in the green. $635. Next page. 2142, $2,000 for your 105. 2280, $4,000. 2543, $8,000. Think that's a no-brainer for 105. I'm gonna pause right there and, open it for any questions. No questions? Hector, anything? Cardia, anything?
No,
No?
that's not main. No.
Okay. Nobody have any questions? All right. All right, so
Actually, I do. I have one question, Savon.
too late. No, go ahead.
Okay, you said a contract. So basically, is it like, okay, so you would buy a certain amount for a certain date, and you're aiming to make a certain amount of money on that date, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so what happens when you don't meet that goal? How does that work?
If you don't meet the goal of hitting $20
Yeah,
on that date,
yeah,
okay, so watch, you see my screen?
yeah, I'm looking.
All right, so remember, right here where you see this line, that's where $9.14, that's where you were.
Right.
When you begin to trend in this direction, you're making money. Okay, so let me go back to where it was $6 and right there, $6.35. Let me go back to where when it went into the green and you have $635. That means if you back this up to about right here, you would probably have $400 and something. Understand?
Okay, got it. Got it.
In profit.
Okay, I got it. I'm taking notes. All right.
Yeah. So if you're trending in the direction of the call to hit $20, you're making money. You don't actually have to hit this mark to start making money. As long as it's trending in that direction. For instance, my call that I took was $3 per contract. I took 2. And that means I invested $6. Currently, my $6 is now $14. I can sell my contract and say, listen, the bank don't even give me this much. I made $8, I'm out of here. I could sell my contract, didn't even come close to hitting $20. I walk away with $8 profit. You understand?
Got it.
Yep. So as long as but would I sell it right now? No, I wouldn't. Because why? My mark is $20. So in order for me to sell my contract, it would have to be in this level right here, probably $400. Now, if I'm making $400 for investing 105, I might walk away at this point. Why might I walk away at this point? Because as you know, Bitcoin is very volatile. Let's just say it decides to go up and then it decides to come back down and keep going down. before I lose it all the way back down here, I will sell it. Because at some point I can even do a buyback. It may be at a higher price, but it probably benefit me to do that. You know,
Okay, got it.
but sometimes with faith, you know, Bitcoin might take a little dip, or any crypto might take a little dip and go back up. Let's just say Bitcoin goes to 44,000. Odds are it'll drop back down to 42. Am I going to panic and sell? Most likely not, because I'm going to watch the market, I'm going to pay attention, and I'm going to make my prediction. And based off of my prediction or watching the charts, I'm going to make a decision. So that's why when you go to school, they give you homework to do, and you're supposed to do your homework. So if you're investing, you're supposed to do your homework. So if I buy it here at $9.14, and my call is $20 to hit on the 20th of August, and it's trending in this direction, I want it to keep going so I can hit that $20 mark, so I can be in a real profit. But again, based on how volatile Bitcoin is, or crypto, I may sell at this point, because anytime I could invest 105 and it don't get to 635, but it gets to about right here and it's 400 and something dollars, that means I made 300 and something dollars on my investment. So I don't even have to go all the way. Just remember that as long as it trends in that direction, you're making money. Now, if it gets up here, you already see what you turn 105 into. Let's go back. We're not even going to touch the unlimited yet. The 105 turned into $8,000. If it even goes to $25, remember your call is for $20. I promise you, you can't control these things when they start flying up. That's why there is unlimited. That means if you pass that $25 level and you double to 50, you now got $16,000 for 105. That's why if you educate yourself in options, you could be making a ton of money. And people do this all the time and they never quit. So imagine doing something and never quitting. You think you're gonna make money? You are. Just imagine playing lotto, standing in a line in supermarkets or at gas stations, and you're constantly putting in $1, constantly. I know people who spend $100 a week. I know people who spend $200 a week, $500 just to hit the lotto, just to have many chances to win. So now imagine investing in a company that you know about, that you did your research. I don't know too many people who research the lottery and know what number is going to hit. It's like you're just guessing, you're just like throwing your money out there and hoping that the number hit. I have a better chance of winning money by knowing Michael Jordan is going to beat Patrick Ewing. Michael Jordan is a better player, but if I'm playing lotto, I ain't got no chance. Unless God whispered in my ears and tell me the numbers that was going to play. But when you invest in a company, you stand a better chance. You know, Cardia, you were speaking the other day of how to run a company, you know, and you sound very educated when it comes to, you know, what you need to do when it comes to running a company. So now me as an investor want to invest in someone like you. I don't want to invest in the person that don't know how to run a business. So when we're investing in companies, what are we looking for? We're looking for good management. We're looking for money management. We're looking for a good team. So if Canon has a good team, I'm going to invest in them. If I put 105 and it's at $9.14, and let's just say Canon didn't do it. Let's just say Canon went to $10, $11, $12. I'm still in a profit. I can sell it. I still gain something and I could rebuy. What if Canon dropped back down to $8? I just keep rebuying it. I'm gaining money from that. It didn't have to hit $20. But if it does hit $20, ooh, man, I'm loving that. But again, if it doesn't, I can keep buying and selling. from $8 to $14, I'm in the profit. Now remember, it's a call when you buy it to go up. It's a put when you buy it to come down. So keep this in mind. If it goes to $15 and it's not going towards 20, I can sell it. And guess what I could do? Turn it into a put. So I can make money going up and I can make money coming down. Someone keeps moving, it's scratching like a record. So, I hope I did a very good job explaining. Again, Hector, we were trying to call you. I'm not sure if you're around.
Yeah, I was sorry. I had to plug in the laptop. No, I was listening. It's definitely a great explanation of the contract ending, and I know Anna asked what happens, and that's usually that's the best one of the best questions to ask. What happens if that call or that put is not fulfilled? And that's really where the science of options is, because you can take what you know from the stock and look up predictions and look up what's happening. But the reason why this is so lucrative, I don't even want to say profitable. This is a more lucrative way to make money in similar investments, but it's that you're actually almost I mean, to use the GameStop for example, this is how all that money was being made and was being moved and generated. All of the talk started with options, and that's what generated the AMC. That's what created that avalanche, and then it made a lot of people very, very wealthy, and it made a lot of hedge fund execs very sad and very, not poor, but because they got a lot of them have a lot of money, but it disappointed a lot of people because they were betting on the way down, and then the people spoke and they were betting on the way up. So the people were calling and the hedge funds were putting. Um, and this is just I'm just throwing that in there because that's where it became cool to be part of the stock market. It became cool to be more aware, and a lot of people became very literate very quickly on these financial decisions, and it was all based on options. I just wanted to underline that this was all options that moved those numbers the way that they did. So there's a lot of
If
potential.
I can pause you for a second, Hector, I'll let you continue. You mentioned, a put and the people spoke. And if everyone can remember when I said, even though I do a call, that's a prediction. It can go the other way, and the reason I say that is because sometimes you never know the stock that you pick if something is going to happen to it. And what I mean is I've been watching Bitcoin and crypto for at least the last year and a half. I've been really paying attention to it. And I've been watching the mining companies and how they tie into each other. And I can almost predict what's going to happen, when it's going in a certain direction, which mining company is going to go up and so on and so on. And like you said about the hedge funds taking a put and the people spoke, we can talk about like a little bit of manipulation. I remember when Bitcoin went to $60,000, and mining companies, some of them started going the opposite directions, so I wanted to mention that because when you're investing, you have to keep that in mind that some of these stocks that we invest in, some of them is going to be messed with, so I just wanted to put that out there. It's not that your prediction is wrong. It's that like a GameStop situation could be happening. Continue, Hector.
Yeah, and I'm just throwing that in there because that's one of the first times, for lack of a better word, culturally, people were listening to stocks, right? It became a thing. I know Anna's on the phone, and she's into anime, right? So like she's into anime because of her son, but somebody was opened up a Robinhood account, and that was around that time that there was a lot of movement. So and again, there was some market manipulation. That's so rare that something that big happens the way that it did. GameStop and Robinhood. I'm sorry, Robinhood was. There was a lot of speculation. There's a lot of SEC investigations on all of this. I'm not trying to be the pessimist at all. I'm here to obviously invest and learn. But this is the reason why it's so lucrative, because there could be some opportunities, not necessarily for market manipulation, but for things to swing in different directions very quickly. But using Canon as an example, I guess to talk more about this particular company, and I think it is a good pick. There's going to be a lot going on right now. In 2020, January 2020, I had to look up the numbers just so I wasn't sure. I didn't know what the numbers were. The U.S. Accounted for about 70% of Bitcoin. Let me flip this. I was charging my laptop, so finally it's in a steady place that I can throw this camera on, like I'm talking to this. There we go. So 2020, in January 2020, Bitcoin or the U.S. was 17% of all cryptocurrency mining, roughly. So, China had an enormous percentage of that, and it was increasing. And now we're talking, they're saying early 2022, we're going to be 40% of the market. That's huge when China had about 70 at one point. So there's going to be a big shift, and a lot of that shift is going to go, I think Texas is going to take the bulk of it as far as where it's going to be happening. They're taking a lot of new businesses are happening in Austin is one of the places. But I still have to say, now is the time to really start digging. And I know, Savan, you've done that already, to really start digging on the whys and the whos. Who's going to take on that extra work? What companies are going to step up? This could be a NVIDIA push. This could be a AMD push, because there was a lot of rigs that weren't being used, and they were just going back on the market and being sold. Maybe that's going to create a little bit of a downhill spiral on, one of the gaming card manufacturers, that this is how you mine crypto, with gaming cards. So maybe that creates a ripple effect, and it bounces, NVIDIA, which was extremely strong. If you don't know about NVIDIA did what Zoom did, right, during the pandemic. So during the pandemic, Zoom took off, so did NVIDIA. NVIDIA took off because people were building machines, people were people were doing cryptocurrency, investing and mining. I built 2 machines at home during the pandemic, right before the pandemic. So I put $700, $800, maybe $800. I'm lying. I put probably about $1,800 into the market as far as with computer parts and everything. So between my son's machine and my machine, probably about $1,800 was put into the market. So all of those are just ripples, and we're gonna see more Canons, more companies like Canon step up. I'm gonna do my research and find out, what's the alternative to Canon, and also
There's quite a few of them. Trust me, you already know I did my research. There's a bunch.
Absolutely.
There's a bunch of them.
But the big questions are, are they prepared? Are they prepared to scale? Are they prepared to take on that extra work? Do they have the infrastructure? Do they have the space? Are they partnering up with any I don't know, energy, solar power. This is all about, when it comes to cryptocurrency, it's about space and energy. How is energy being used, and who are the big players? Like, I know, I can't remember the name of the company right now, but they were one of the first ones to go really big in Texas. To create a monster farm, as they call it, crypto mining farm. So that's really the question. Those are going to be the questions of, sure, there are the cannons, but who's in position
You
to
heard of
infrastructure
Riot?
wise. I did they do cloud storage? How do you spell that?
RIT.
All right,
RIOT, sorry.
RIOT.
RIOT. Yeah.
I think I've heard
Riot
they're
blockchain. They're one of the biggest ones, if not the biggest. Riot blockchain.
let me see.
They
I
were
think
they
they
were
came out.
$5 a year ago.
Castle. Wow, they're at $34 now.
They were at $5.
Wow, and their 52-week high was nearly $80. Wow, they've been
Yep.
making some
So I
moves.
believe they're the biggest one. And then you got Marathon patent, Marathon Digital now, I think.
Yeah, Marathon Digital, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so that's
They
that's gonna be the question now, is to start that list and to see, who's gonna be moving, possibly work with options on those, or just hold,
well
invest and hold.
for those who have the money to spend, you would obviously want to do your Riot, your Marathon patent, if you have the big money to spend, and Canon, I'm pretty sure is going to change at some point too. Because if you look at Canon's 52-week high as well, it was 40 something. So Canon is also one of the big companies, so currently Canon is at a low for people to get in to
On
options right
sale.
now. It's on
You
sale
talk
right
about the
now, which is
clearance.
why,
It's on
yes,
sale.
yes, which is why I'm using it as example. So I've done my research as to which company I should be getting in right now before they get a little crazy, and Canon is one of them. So in other words, I'll tell you what I'm going to do, and I'm no financial advisor. I'm just sharing it, sharing the information. You can invest at your own risk. But what I'm personally doing is each and every time that I put in my 105, no matter which direction it goes in, I'm going to continue to put a 105. Okay? Because I'm of belief that I'm going to keep my call because it ain't staying down there. You get what I'm saying? It ain't staying down there. I've seen how far it goes, and me personally, I'm going to continue to invest until it goes where it's supposed to be going. Now, I may swing a few times up and down, but I'm going to leave quite a few investments in calls. But again, I'm no financial advisor. I'm just telling you what I'm going to be doing. So basically, what I'm saying, imagine continuously investing in Bitcoin when your money disappears. If you continued to invest and invest on a weekly basis, imagine how much Bitcoin you would have had if you never stopped and just kept putting in. Sometimes you got to be very patient, even when you do calls and it doesn't work that time, do it again. If at first you don't succeed, try again. So look at these numbers. One I just showed you was for 105. Look at these numbers, 3 for 21. So listen, all depends on the type of money you want to spend. I took a screenshot here of the last time, but these are the numbers that I saw recently. See that? Those are numbers I saw recently. So anybody have any questions though? Everyone's kind of quiet.
I'm actually refreshing this page. You mentioned Ride Marathon. I think there was one called, thought it was eBang International something, but I don't remember if that was
Yeah,
it. So I'm looking it up.
eBang is very low. eBang may be a sleeper. eBang ain't doing nothing. It's sleeping.
Yeah,
eBang is like, eBang will make you quit. So if you guys,
yeah,
if there's anyone out there who don't have patience, you don't need to invest in eBang. It'll make you quit.
yeah. So eBang, that's why I wanted to find it. eBang's from China. So
So is SOS. Both of them will make you quit. You don't have no patience, you'll definitely stop putting money in. And the reason I say that, you stop putting money in and it'll do that Bitcoin to you. If you know what I mean, when it goes
yeah,
to the
yeah,
moon and you'll be kicking yourself in the foot because you don't have patience. That's what eBang and the one you just mentioned will do, and SOS. That's what they both will do to you. You want you want you want some quick gains, some quick wins and some quick losses, because you will be taken for a ride. You can go right ahead with the marathon and the riots. You'll be taken for a ride, all right. You do you just like Bitcoin, do you?
yeah. There's been some SEC class actions. I'm just looking at some notes over here. Um, but I mentioned eBang only because somebody has to pick up the slack when these companies are not doing what they do. I think they were holding down 30 at one time like 34% of the market, which is huge. It's almost half of what was being mined at one point because
Yep.
China had about 70, so they held almost half of that.
Took a big dip.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. But the question is still, who's going to take that on? And is Texas, that's been in line from an article in early 2020 before this whole China thing happened. So they were already in position to say, the United States only has 17%. Somebody's got to start mining more. So there's going to be some numbers. Somebody's going to have to take that on. And again, Texas is growing tremendously. The company that I work for just opened up a new office in Austin. Austin seems to be like a new tech hub. A lot of tech companies are making moves. At one point, uh, um, Apple, I think, was considering, some companies were moving out of Silicon Valley, getting out of California, moving over to Texas, take advantage of those tax, you know, um, not stipends. What's the word? Not write-offs. Um, Whatever it is. There's opportunities, and you get some good incentives, I guess, to open up shop, and not give California X amount of money. They pay less in Texas, and I'm really curious on who's going to be the
Are
new
you,
eBank.
are you talking about tax breaks?
Tax breaks, there it is. It's been a very long day. I went fishing with the boy today. Very, very long day. And then we went to like a
Yeah.
little mini amusement park type of thing. So tax breaks, those things.
Well, you said that word was eluding you.
Yeah,
Them
100%.
words
I
was
cannot.
eluding.
No way I was gonna remember that because I don't
Yeah.
get too many. That's why. I'm learning. I'm learning. I gotta learn how to hide money.
Yeah, yes, sir. You know you muted yourself, or you didn't know.
Yeah, I did. They were calling me over here. I didn't want to.
Okay,
Yeah, I didn't want you guys to hear the yelling.
okay. Yeah, we're not gonna stay on too long. We wanted to come on and do the options, because I have a doctor's appointment in the morning, so I gotta go make sure I get a little rest in and do some fasting, you know.
This is just to speak on that real quick. This is also a lot of information to take on. Options is something that you have to ease into, um, believe in it, and like you mentioned earlier, and we always talk about the research. That's one of the reasons why I personally have not, because you really got to be on the grind with the research. It's it's all in the preparation. I don't cook, but cooking's all in the preparation. Um, Picking stocks or picking swings or movements or whatever you want to call them. Some people do. I'm waiting for Bitcoin to come back because I thought that I was gonna be able to take a dip and get in and get out, and it happened. So I'm just waiting for it to go. I think my numbers, I think like 46 for me to kind of like come out unscathed because I didn't get out in time. So I said, it'll come back. I don't need it to go to 60, but I think my number's about 46. So it's on its way. It's just a lot of companies need to hear that we're going to be okay. China's not, it's not all. It's not all when it comes to crypto. The mining, this crypto 2.0, as I'm calling it, um, the way that the mining is shifting is going to alter a lot. We just saw Ethereum pop up. We saw XRP go up. Um, there's a lot of been talks in Doge. Doge went up like almost 20%. I guess I'll give you a quick recap, while we're on our way out. I was looking at this yesterday because everything was moving. And one of the reasons is Bitcoin started doing this thing. So when Coach mentioned, or he asked, do I follow Bitcoin? I don't have a lot invested in Bitcoin, but I have to follow it because it makes others nudge. Um, it does it often. There's been talk about Sino Ibu, the other dog, meme coin. There's been talk about that. There's been talk about um, Doge being accepted by Burger King, and who's Burger King? Like, it's not a big deal, but it's a conversation that a coin will be accepted for purchases, and a lot of people know that. Well, not a lot of people know. I'll give you a quick, super quick history. There was a pizza shop that took Bitcoin for pizza. They were accepting Bitcoin at the time, and the
Because
amount of Bitcoin that
because
they
that
took.
person was smart. That person was smart. You know how
Yeah,
much Bitcoin that person got now? That person is
yeah.
like, give me that. That's what
So
Burger King's doing too.
yeah, exactly. So
Give me
the
them Doge
idea,
coins.
give me them Doge coins. I'll give you some buns for Doge.
Yeah, and
So
you'll
the
remember a couple of years later that you bought this in Dogecoin, and now
yeah,
Dogecoin value is up here.
exactly. So that's what's happening now. We're seeing that idea of it could be worth something, right? It's kind of when we got to do a recap on NFTs because that's what NFT is. It could be worth something. It's not anything right now, but it could be worth something, and that's the cloud around Doge. It's always going to be a cloud around Doge, like because it doesn't really do anything. It's kind of like Bitcoin. It doesn't. They just talked about Ethereum recently. I saw an article about more smart contracts for Cardano. The Ethereum killer. So all of these coins have a physical, um, for lack of a better word, algorithm to do things. Doge doesn't. Bitcoin doesn't. It's just a currency coin. It doesn't have any intelligence behind it. So when we start to hear all of this stuff, that creates a ripple. Going back, I'm just trying to see the big numbers. Link went up 20% in the last 30 days. 3 in the last 7 days, and it had to do, I think, with the Ethereum bump. There was a whale of 1.6 million. Somebody moved Ethereum or invested in Ethereum. So when that happens, because it's blockchain technology, we talked about this before, everybody knows. That's really the biggest thing in this asset class. So, everybody knows when there's a big move like that. So these are gonna, impact. They're gonna create impacts. People are talking that Ethereum's on its way back to 4K. It hasn't been in over 2K in a long time. So anyway, I guess just to close with that, just to talk about a couple of the big hitters.
Yes. Because the park is close to Gum House.
We got Abraham. Oh, he muted. So yeah, so these are some of the big ones. Even Polkadot. Polkadot jumped 6%. In 7 days. So there's a little bit of an awakening in a lot of the crypto. And I'm talking about the top 25. A lot's happened. I got my favorites, and they're holding. I'm patient. They're holding, and I'm gonna definitely get some more. But I think again the options conversation it's really a good one to have, especially right now with crypto mining.
Yep, with the movement, the movement that's happening, definitely, whether up or down.
Saban, what about Oatly?
Who?
Oatly.
What's that one? That's a stock?
Mm-hmm.
Don't think I ever
Oatly?
heard of that one.
No. I think Oprah Winfrey backs it, I think.
Oh, Oprah.
Mm-hmm.
You know anything about that, Hector? Oatly?
No, is that a coin? Is she trying to make a coin, or what is that?
Sounds like a coin, Auntie Joy.
I don't remember.
If it's being backed by Oprah, it sounds like a coin.
I think it is a coin.
Oh.
It might be.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking it up now. Yeah, she invested in, I don't know if it might be a stock. I don't know, because I'm looking at something that she invested in cryptocurrency. This was late 2019. So maybe she did create something. So if you could find it, you can post it in or send it over to the email, and Ed will circulate it in the group. Anytime when somebody, for lack of a better term, creates a coin or endorses a coin, I always have to go back to what does the coin do? Because those are the ones that are going to be around for the long haul. We already know it. The only reason why Bitcoin doesn't do anything, but it's going to be around for the long haul, is because it's I always explain, it's the gold. Gold is worthless. It doesn't do anything. Now we know, many years later, that it's a phenomenal semiconductor for electricity. They use it in computer chips and all of that. Now we know this. But we didn't know this back then. We just thought it was scarce, it was shiny, and we just started collecting it. And we use it as currency. But it doesn't do anything, right? Like, think of gold to a credit card. With a credit card, you get reward points, and you build your credit. I posted to the group that, I went up 100 points in the last year. I feel really good about that. I was climbing out of a ditch, so my credit is better. I feel better. I'm walking taller now, and my credit's better. Like, I just feel better, right? So gold doesn't do that. Credit cards do it. Even Savant just mentioned $100 in the bank. It's $100 in the bank. You'd be lucky if you get $102. It's worthless. It doesn't even sit in the bank. So there's all these things. So when there's a new coin, I always have to ask, there's only so much room for the Doge and the Bitcoins and the ones that are like, okay, what if? Even NFTs are huge what if. It sounds phenomenal, but it's still a what if. So I like to, look at it, do more research on it. I know that the safe ones are the top 5 coins always. The top 5, top 6 coins. The Ethereums, the Cardanos, even XRP. I think that's when, Coach and I kind of clicked because we were both like XRP for life. Like we believe in it. And those are the ones that are going to worry people, but they're going to probably be around for the longest. Any other coin can create something like Polkadot or there's another one with an M we talked about before. I did some stats on it. Matic, right? Polygon. So these coins are technologies. They're based on technology. Remember, we have to frequently remind. I have to do it too. I have to remind myself that a crypto coin is 2 things. It could be currency. It could be blockchain. So the ones that are really, really successful are using the blockchain technology. And in order to use that technology, you have to fund the coin. There has to be circulation in the coin. There has to be the physical coin moves either information or in some cases currency. But most of the time it's moving information. The Ethereums, the Cardanos, the Chainlink, to name a few, those are all database coins. Those are all the essence of the blockchain technology. So when you look at a coin, just ask, is it a currency or is it a smart, AKA like a smart contract? Like, what does it really do? Like case in point, XRP versus Bitcoin. XRP is super faster, super faster. It's much faster. That's the biggest difference between the two. And I've actually sent coin to my son and I've watched it. And then when you're talking about millions and billions of dollars, you're going to see that it takes time to move. It could get there in 2-3 hours. But with other coins, 15 minutes, 10 minutes, 2 minutes, seconds, the money comes through. So that's just because the mechanism is just better. We're talking about a 4-cylinder versus, a Jaguar V12. There's no comparison. The technology, it's not just the manufacturing, the technology is advanced. So any new coins, I love to read them and find out who's doing what. XLM, Akon was involved for a big project in Africa. Cardano is also doing the same thing. They're trying to move currency. They're trying to build things in Africa, which South America and Africa have like their merchant technologies or like just like an ATM. There's people that don't have bank accounts, but they still move money. How do they move money? Well, they're moving money on flip phones. How do they do that? And Cardano and XLM is going to even help it, further it, get these people to the 21st century. They don't have bank accounts, but they're still moving money around. That to me isn't. It doesn't even compute. Like money, bank, no bank account, no money. Like that's the way. Like I can't detach a bank account from a bank, but you're still moving money. We know Cash App. It connects to a bank account, but then it lives in a different bank. And Square became an empire because of Cash App, because it became culturally accepted amongst everybody. Oh, you Cash App, I Cash App. You Cash App, I Cash App. Everybody Cash App. But it's like another bank. It's their bank. It's like another. Okay, we have a bank over here. It's a great concept, but it's not a centralized bank, right? It's a decentralized bank. It's a bank in their own world, and they created the bank, and we don't even see it that way. We just think you got Cash App, I got Cash App. but there's so much happening in the background. You know.
Sorry, it's a question. You know how long Cash App been around?
Cash App is very, very new. Square has been around longer than Cash App, and I used Square in my first business. Trying to think. Definitely less than 20 years ago for Square, and Square's owned Cash App. And even Cash App, using Cash App as just a quick talking point, it's not even accepted everywhere in the world yet. I couldn't use my Cash App credit card in Mexico. It wasn't accepted as a Visa transactional card. So it's a small, decentralized system. So we talk about cryptocurrency and volatility and decentralized and centralized, but we're using a decentralized product on Cash App. You know, we're using it. We don't call it this. Here comes Cash App, creates this I call it a piggy bank. They create their own decentralized piggy bank, and we all agree to let them hold our money. We don't cash out. I got 26 cents in my Cash App. I cash out. You don't get to use my money. It's my money. Give me my money. So, but this is just like the way that we connect, and we allow other organizations to hold our money. You know, I think it was either Coach or Allen that said, and then I chimed in and I was like, yeah, my cryptocurrency at the time was bigger than my bank account. Like my joint bank with my wife is one account. Then I have a savings and my checking. My checking is transactional. My checking doesn't make, there's no money in the checking. I move money around. And then my cryptocurrency at one point had more money than my savings account because it was growing. My savings account wasn't growing. My savings account was either saving or moving money to my checking or moving money to my kids or wherever it was. But my cryptocurrency account was riding on its own. It was moving up. So, I mean, with all that, I know I threw a lot out there, but when we consider a coin, just make that distinction. If it's a currency, like that should be like right out the gate, or something that helps the blockchain. And how does it help the blockchain? And who's connected to it? And who's talking? And then you can determine whether you want to do the research to invest in that. I think those are the beginning stages. Like Matic, Matic is doing things for the internet. And this is huge because the internet hasn't changed since we know it. I've been on the internet since 1992, right? I've been on the internet on my own. Like I was doing it in school, but it wasn't like what we see today. 92, 95, even when I was in high school, the internet wasn't what we see today. It started to make changes in 98, 99. Then it was like, wait, the internet is okay, this is for real. This is like a real thing. Like, oh wow, eBay, I can buy things on the internet. Oh wow, PayPal, I can send money across the internet. So it started evolving. We haven't seen any revolution or any evolving on the internet in a long time. We're due. Technology's due for Cash App. That was new. That was an amazing concept, but it's so simple. But we were due for something to explode, and then it took Square, and stock-wise, Square shot up like Zoom, like NVIDIA, during the pandemic, whoop, everything went up. They do microloans. They do everything that a bank does, Square does. It's incredible. You can take loans out on your own money. You can do self microloans on your own money that's coming in. When you have a business, Square is an amazing product, and they give everything for free. They just want you to keep their money in their piggy bank. Literally, that's what they want.
So,
It's
go ahead.
So sorry.
Was asking, I don't know if it's the same. Bitcoin and crypto is the same thing, as in it's the one thing, or it's two different things.
So Bitcoin is a type of crypto. So Bitcoin, as far as we know it, it's the first Bitcoin. the first cryptocurrency. So it's the grandpa of them all. It is the one that holds. When we started these conversations before the China crash, it was almost at $2 trillion, I believe. 2 trillion, yeah, about 2 trillion. Gold at the time was at 19 trillion. So for this, figurative, imaginative, like this, there's no physical cryptocurrency. For it to be 2 trillion, and gold has been around since the beginning of time, right? Since the caveman, right? Gold has been around. It's amazing that cryptocurrency is at 2 trillion and gold is at 19 trillion. So Bitcoin is just the grandpa. And I always reference gold because it's the best way to explain it. As far as its purpose is just a way to move money. And somehow we've agreed of what the value is.
Okay,
The same way that
so basically, gold is the bicycle and Bitcoin is the car.
Yeah, for sure. And here's a really, really good analogy. When I learned this analogy, I'm like, I love to share this one. Bitcoin is like when we talk about other coins, Bitcoin is a great sneaker. It's the Nike. It's a great sneaker. It's the Nike. The Nike's the biggest manufacturer. If it's cars, it's Toyota. That's the biggest, I would say the best because they move more cars than everybody. But let's use Nike as an example. Nike is Bitcoin. Now, here's the big brain bust. Ethereum is the factory that makes all shoes. It can make a Nike. It can make a Prada. It can make a Gucci. It can make a Saucony. It can make Asics. It can make a Puma. It can make them all. So these types of coins, like Ethereum, can do what Bitcoin can do and more. So Bitcoin is just the shoe. But Ethereum, the way that it's designed, can create more shoes. Any shoe. Anything that goes on your foot, Ethereum can build. Not just the Nike. That's when you think of it that way, it's like, why the hell are we using Bitcoin? Right? And then another quick brain bust. Then you have Cardano. That's the Ethereum killer. So there's another one that came out that's better than Ethereum, better than Bitcoin. So as technology gets better and mathematicians and cryptologists and people, super smart people, start creating ways to change the way that we see the blockchain and add to it, more things are birthed. More technologies are built.
Let me jump in. You mentioned ADA as the Ethereum killer, but is it really?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you mentioned Nike. What about Reebok? What about Puma?
Well,
no.
For sure.
Hold on. What about I'm getting somewhere with this. No company stands alone. And it's so fitting that the person who created ADA, Cardano, also helped to create Ethereum. There has to be competition.
Yeah.
There has to be competition. So I wouldn't say it's the killer. I would say it's Reebok versus Nike.
Yeah, absolutely. The difference is, that when the technologies change, if we're looking at, we've had this conversation before. Ethereum, and my son has seen this. When he has to get VET, he has to get Thor to fuel it. So Ethereum has, all coins have transactional fees. And what they call those transactional fees, they call them gas fees. In order to move the coin through the network, you have to pay, you got to pay the gatekeeper, right? You got to pay the gatekeeper. So Ethereum had incredibly high gas fees, which is one of the things wrong, right? The other thing, it wasn't as fast, And the smart contract, I'm not a coder, but there were limitations to the contracts, the way that you would create applications to build on top of it. So I mentioned NFTs. NFTs runs on Ethereum. It doesn't run on any other coin. There's 4 versions, and they're all Ethereum based. So when you think of an NFT, you have to think Ethereum. You can't think Bitcoin. You can't think Cardano. You can't think Doge. You can't think of anything else because it lives off that platform. It was built off that platform. So it's kind of like your car. Your car can only take 3 fuels, but you're only supposed to give it 1 fuel. If you give your car, people be like, oh, it's cleaner. It's not cleaner. If you give your car 93 when the car should be taking 87, you're hurting your engine. It's not a cleaner fuel. It's a more combustible engine. It's an explosion that's happening in the engine. But people think it's cleaner. It's not cleaner. It's more powerful. So with that said, those are 3 versions, and then there's Diesel, which is a 4th. So Ethereum has like 4 versions, and they all power NFT. So no other coin is powering NFT right now. So that's why Ethereum is like one of those ones, like Coach has said, hold on. This is like a competition, right? And there's going to be a Nike versus whoever. And the way that you have this battle, which is like super interesting to me, is who's building what and why. And then you start to see how they're stacking certain technologies, and that's the difference between all cryptocurrencies. Like, what does it do? Why do I care? Because not all cryptocurrencies are about money. There are currencies, but when we talk about the word currency, let's not forget what it means. It doesn't mean money, it means movement. Currency, like whether it's waves, whether it's electricity, it means movement. It doesn't mean money. It means that you have to make a transaction. So if I send 5 people on, I say, look, thank everybody for coming. I'm sending everybody Cash App, right? So I'm using Cash App currency, $, whatever it is. And then I'm going to make that transaction happen. And then there's a fee associated if you have a business account. Like, there's so much more that happens outside of just the money part, But anyway, I did go over on my time. I got a couple of family things to do. But it's good questions. Cardia definitely rein us in, and we have to have more of these conversations because some of this stuff it took me time to get all of this. It's a lot of information, especially when we start talking about new coins, and then we go, what exactly does it do? And then I have to do the research and go, oh yeah, I did see that in an article, but I skimmed through it. I don't really know how it works. Even like Matic, I had to look it up, and I'm like, how are you going to change the internet? Like, what does that mean, change the internet? Well, yeah, the internet has like a newspaper, and then it goes from newspaper to magazine quality. Then it goes from magazine, it goes to the higher stock bond. Like, there's always a better version. So the internet, we have too many computers. We're going to 5G soon, right? That's going to be the standard. How does the internet get faster? Like, I'm fighting with the internet here. This internet here is 25 years old. The technology that I'm dealing with right now at this Airbnb. And it's a little painful because I'm used to 300 megabytes per second. This thing is 3 megabytes per second. So in 25 years, we've moved 100 times difference, 100 times better. So I'm surprised this call hasn't dropped. But keep those questions going. Those are always great dialogues to rehash. It doesn't get old because I'm still looking stuff up myself. Coach is still, he gave a great explanation on options, definitely more than I could do. I opened it up for options on my account, and then I was like, I'm not ready for this. So
Mm.
soon, I
Well,
gotta get involved.
well,
Sounds good.
let's wrap it up here. I sent you a message, Hector. We're gonna wrap it up. And you just mentioned about options, you know. It took me a while, just like it's taken you a while, you know, because you're not comfortable with it yet. Took me a while as well, because I want to be able to understand what I'm getting into before I actually go in. So, you know, just take your time, get used to it, do your research, you know, and get involved. That's all. And anybody have questions, just, you know, leave it on our YouTube or message us. Always write on our YouTube channel any questions anybody want to ask.
Definitely.
All right. Well, with that being said,
Sounds good,
I'm
guys.
signing off.
Have a good one.
All
Likewise.
right. Yes,
Okay.
thank
Have a
you,
good
guys.
evening, guys.
Okay, have a good evening.
Good
Yes,
evening,
thank you.
guys.
Good
Another
night.
good one.
Night and enjoy.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good
Night,
night.
All right, good
night.
night.
Night.